ready for Draper Radio.
Okay, I think we're live.
Yes, we are live. And it's so funny. We're talking turkey a little bit today. And I was looking back at the episodes, and I think we're alternating years between Mr. Whipple and Mr. Sawicki and myself, I noticed. So it's great. I mean, I think we can almost say we have 3 hosts to the show now. Because this is...
Well, this is my 4th episode, I think. So I don't consider myself a host yet, right?
No.
This is all your show, but I do enjoy being a guest.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I don't mind coming down, you know, doing this. Actually, I enjoy it quite a bit.
It's so fun. I mean, especially depending on the topics. Some I enjoy, and then some I'm really like, wow, this is going to be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I've been researching for a little while on this topic we're going to talk today, because I'm like, well, we did 2 Thanksgiving episodes,
right.
And you know, like we were talking before the show, how we had to go back and listen, so I don't want to duplicate. Like, oh yeah, didn't Draper Radio do that last year?
Yes,
And I don't want to be like
show.
that, you know. Kind of like my teaching. I don't want to, like, you know, be showing old yellowed transparencies. Kids don't just Google that.
Yeah.
But I want to keep it fresh for everybody at home and listening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So we came up with some new topics,
yes,
right?
So
I think one of them was Black Friday,
yes,
right? The day after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday, and also one of the big ones. We'll touch, I think, on a few things today. I think Black Friday, but one where I did some like heavy research on was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as well.
Oh yeah.
So I think, you know, it'd be kind of fun to talk. I think you might, from a historical point of view, with Black Friday. I know it from a more of like an employee sort of point of view, because
Yeah.
I've worked several Black Fridays, very
Okay.
different. I
Yeah.
didn't do the infamous Walmart
Mad rush.
like that's a whole I could
never do it.
God bless the people that work there.
Yes.
Just saying on
Yes.
Black Friday. I don't know if it's still like that, but you usually end up hearing somebody got hurt, somebody got trampled.
Somebody always gets trampled. Somebody gets trampled.
Right.
Fighting over, you know, the last thing on the shelf.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just insanity.
This
is why I'm a Cyber Monday guy.
Yes. Okay. I would. Yeah. I think that's a good angle to start with. If we talk with Cyber Monday, Black Friday. Yeah. I would have to say I'm gonna go with Cyber
Yeah.
Monday.
The evolution of shopping.
It really is. You know, I think it's important. Like, I know I'll speak for Mr. Sawicki here, because he's huge on another one, Small Business Saturday, which is
Yes.
in between
It's kinda
Friday
new,
and
right?
Monday.
Yeah, how old is Small Business Saturday? Like, when did that become a thing? That's got to be fairly new.
Yeah, I mean, because I think my guess is, without doing any research, I would say it was to overcome that Cyber Monday issue, right?
Right.
I mean, the Black Friday, you're not seeing as many of local shops advertising on, maybe a little flyer in your
Yeah.
local, like, penny saver. Again, Google that, because people probably don't even know what that is. But a little flyer for local. I mean, that's how local stuff. And a lot of time local is just like, hey, Mr. Whipple, I went over to this store. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as old as, like, referencing, something cool.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Your local mom and pop shops.
Yeah, and I
Right.
think that'd be my guess, is they're looking to compete with, Cyber Monday. They're having their whole big thing, and they had Friday, so they kind of split the middle. They're like
Yeah.
the middle child, right?
Right.
Underappreciated, and
I'm a middle child.
yeah, same.
So I get it. I
Same.
totally get it.
I am, and my wife is middle child, and I talked to my older son, Noah, about he's middle child. He's like, yeah, well, I'm like, I get it, bud.
Yeah.
You got, at least he had one of each sibling.
Yeah.
I had 2 sisters,
Yeah.
so I'd protect them outside of the house. At home, mom and dad weren't looking.
Right.
I was not so good.
Right.
But truth be told, now they're my best friends.
100%.
We went through a lot of garbage, and I was a jerk. They might have been jerks. But now we realize, oh man, we need to be closer and connect with each other. I remember.
I think that's a thing with siblings as you get older.
Yeah.
Like I have 3 brothers.
Right.
And it was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
24 hours a day in our house.
Yeah.
With
3 boys.
4 boys.
4.
boys.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
4. Yeah, 4.
But now, like, we get along great. We have text chains with each other, sending jokes and, all kinds of stuff. And we all get along great. Growing up, the same thing. It's chaos.
Right.
We now we look back and we laugh about it.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, that's what I say. Like my wife and I always kind of get on the kids. I'm like, oh, he's nagging. I'm like, okay, how much is him being a sibling?
Yeah.
And versus like above and beyond, being a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It's a fine line, because I think I remember talking about in church, like how men, in general, need to be risk takers.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be stronger. So it's kind of like, you watch the Animal Kingdom. I mean, we're kind of part of that, right? So how they, like this lion comes over to this lion's area and the male lion's got to duke it out, see who's toughest, right? So I think it's kind of like that with siblings, right? I mean, we're all, even now, like, oh, I got a truck, and I'm driving by, like another guy drives by me, and he's got bigger wheels than I do.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm second guessing my masculinity. I'm like, I got to look into a bigger wheel here. I'm like, do I? It's so funny how we resort once in a while to like that, like
I
primitive.
just think it's in our genetics.
Oh, it is.
It's 100%. But you were talking about, men. I just read an article.
Yeah.
I got this great new email. Shout out to Charter.
Oh, okay.
CHRTR.
Okay.
And so they break down everything in charts. Everything
visual.
possible.
I like that.
Visual.
Yes.
And I just read an article how the age gap between men and women as longevity in life has gotten bigger. How women are just now living, I think it's 8 years longer than men.
Wow.
And you were talking about risk takers. I think
that comes into play.
It does come into play. It
does.
I think men just naturally take more risks.
Yeah.
Stupid risks.
Oh, of course.
Uncalculated.
Right.
There's
no thought involved.
Yeah,
it's just thought. Actually, it's just idea,
go.
application.
Go.
Doing it.
Right. Give it a shot. Let's see what's the worst that can happen.
That would be cool. 3 hours later in an ER, that wasn't so cool.
Yeah. But
Did you get a video?
Did you get it on video? Who had their phone out?
Yeah.
So I just think siblings, boys growing up, I think are probably tougher than girls.
Yeah.
As far as raising them, because I don't think what's the average age? We should know this as educators, but boys' brains develop slower.
Oh, right. I mean, I see. I wish I could call in my wife, because my wife's school psychologist.
Yeah.
And she would know exactly. But I mean, girls mature earlier than guys.
100%.
I mean, they have like catty things they do, and just kind of like, neck shaking sort of stuff. But yeah, I would say guys, probably not until
50s.
I'm talking like, midlife crisis.
Yeah.
No, so seriously, I think like 18. I remember talking with like a psychologist and my wife and other people too, and saying like, I mean, kids and phones are not. I mean, even girls, like the brain is not ready to handle that at all.
No, I'm not about big government. I almost wish though there was a law that says you can't get a phone until you're 18.
Yes.
The great thing about it is I know where my kids are all the time.
Right.
And it's quick text if they need something. Right. But at the same time, what you were saying, it's like the detriment to society.
It is, and I like, Mr. Sawicki and I talk about this too. I mean, it just, we could dive into a whole podcast just on this. Yeah. But the long and short of it is, I think what happens is phones are making a split, a chasm between what world we're choosing to be in. Yeah. You look, and I'm guilty as charged. You could be out at dinner. I mean, go survey, be a silent witness at a restaurant. Yeah. And notice the percentage of people that are on and how much they have time on their phone versus with conversations. And I tell kids at school, even just having, like taking your phone out and leaving it out, you're saying, I'm waiting for something more important than you.
Oh, 100, yeah. I just saw, actually, it's funny, I saw a video about a guy who was talking about it, and he said, he goes, what I love is people take their phones, and it's still on the table, but they turn it face down.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So you're not tempted.
Yeah, so you're not tempted, but he's like, even that is a symbol. Like,
right.
I still need it. I still need to see it.
Right.
It's here.
It's there.
Right, rather than just put it away. Right? Just put it away. Like, this is what's more important.
You're going to get so much more out of it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I say this probably, I probably have many episodes I have said this, is that I love tech, but it gets old.
Yeah.
Give me a mountain, give me a campfire, a walk in the woods.
Yeah.
A million times over until my last day. I'd rather be doing that.
100%.
Hands down. I would take my phone and just throw it out the window. I remember, like the anxiety people get nowadays with like, oh, my bad. The kids are like, I'm showing them on my phone, something on my phone that I wanted to like show them a picture of like my dog or whatever. And like, oh, you're at 45%, Mr. Blais. Like that, they have anxiety just looking at my battery life.
You got to charge it.
Yeah. You got a lot of notifications, Mr. Blais. Like my daughter, like, how many windows do you have open? I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No. Some of my proudest moments every week is when I get the report from my phone and how much less I used it than the previous week.
That's
I feel
a generational thing.
I feel great. Like, I'm not using it as much. And so now mentally it's a goal to use it less.
Right.
I want to get that number down.
Sure.
But like I said, at the same time, the society that we live in, we need it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's for right now, it's probably 80% of communication.
Yeah.
Right? Is a text or a phone call.
Yeah.
Right? Or an email on your phone.
That's Well, and that's see that difference of like you're saying, like a text and email, communicating with your spouse, communicating with your kid about, getting picked up, or you need to get them something, whatever, like sometimes now even doctor's offices, right, are doing text messaging, which is nice, but sometimes I don't want to be like, just a reminder for your appointment, Mr. Blais. You could have just sent a text. Yeah. It's so funny.
Could have texted me.
But I think it's a fine line of when to use it. Like my son's like, you're always on your phone. Look at my usage. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm maybe checking the news on occasion because I don't like to get too. Usually, I'm finding out what new drone is out there. Yeah. What's the next comic book movie?
It's informational.
I do research. I edit photos. I edit videos. I edit audio. I edit picture, whatever. Right. I'm sharing stuff out with people. Somebody asked me for something. Versus like my kids, my Ollie, my little guy, will play games on my phone more than I will. I got to go through. I have games, I guess, for show. Yeah. I download. Oh, that's a cool idea. I'm like, I don't think I've spent.
I don't think I've actually tried to play a game on my phone. I can't do it. I don't. Most of what, same thing as you. I'm constantly reading the news. Yeah. I constantly read. So I get an email from Charter. Yep. 1440 Daily is another good one.
I love that site. Love 1440.
That's where I got Charter from. Oh. Because they advertised for it. Yeah. I clicked on it just to see, because I love the visual charts. Yeah. And so I'll have to check that out. What was the other one that took? So they did something. They do a whole bunch of different aspects on Charter. But that's what I'm reading. I want to know what's going on in the world. I read the Times Union on my phone. But yeah, I for younger kids. Yep. There's an addiction. When you can't put it down, or when you have a significant, you can't do it without it, and when you have a significant change in your mood. Yes. Like almost like a rabid dog. Mm-hmm. Right? Or you see a raccoon during the day, right? That's kind of the look you got, like that. Something's not right. Raccoon's nocturnal. What's it doing here? Too much stimulation going on in the brain. And I remember, do you remember you were here when we did a school, actually K through 12 of screenagers? Yeah. So it was a documentary. You could probably find like clips on YouTube, and it talked about this idea of multitasking, and it is like
and I do it sometimes, when you have, like, how many times you see, like you went into if you had a snapshot of a kid in the room, I guarantee you, like you have a TV on.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you have maybe they're playing video game on the computer, and then they have their phone out. Maybe a tablet too.
Yes.
All doing back and forth, and that kills brain cells. It's almost like you could be better. You do the same thing as you're in a car in the garage with the car running and the garage door shut.
Yeah.
It's pretty much doing the same thing. You're suffocating your brain. You're killing brain cells. It's proven.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they did this with rats and mice, and like people that were valedictorians of high school have dropped out of college.
Yeah.
Imagine that being like the smartest kid. Like, you know what you're doing. You know it. I mean,
so distracted.
There's the psychology in marketing for these games. I mean, they have psychologists working on a team. They know how the brain works, right? So you got to get that dopamine hit, and I'd rather I get a dopamine hit when I go out for like a run. When I'm getting ready for like I'm not sure I'm going to do it this year. My foot's been on off, but like Thanksgiving tradition here, doing the turkey trot. And no matter, look at my heart rate before I'm even starting to run. I'm warmed up a little bit. My heart rate's already cranking. I'm like excited.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking about it, and it's going up to 63. My average. I mean, maybe the caffeine kicking in, but yeah, like that's the sort of hit. I get it. Yeah. I get excited about this. Excited about like the podcast. Talking about things and
yeah.
But
I just read that sitting is the new cigarette.
Oh boy.
People are sitting too long.
Yeah.
And it's just slowing down your heart rate, your body. There's no active movement in your body.
Right.
And what are they doing? They're sitting on their phones.
Yeah.
Right? So they talk about sitting, but you're talking about dopamine.
Yeah.
I just listened to a podcast on Joe Rogan.
Yep.
And I can't think of the guy's name, but he was saying every morning you should go outside barefoot and touch the earth.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
He says if you do that every day, you'll feel a difference in your body.
Oh, yeah.
I did it once.
Yep.
It was cold.
It was cold.
But I tell you, it felt good.
Yeah.
Connected. I could feel the connected, right? And then the other thing he said was outside in the sunlight.
Oh, vitamin D.
Vitamin D. Get outside in the sunlight. We're inside way too much.
Were you David Blaine?
Was it David Blaine?
The magician?
Magician?
Yeah, he's
no. Let me.
Because he was talking about they talked about healthy eating, and all that sort of stuff, and how foods have changed and stuff. But it was really neat. But another thing on this whole topic.
Yeah.
And people are like, wait, I thought we were talking about Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're gonna get to Thanksgiving. I promise.
We are. It's coming. It's coming. But it's a show. Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yep.
Limitless on Disney.
Oh yeah.
And I do this now, and I did it different things you can do to extend your life. Obviously, keeping physically fit and eating well, and he did fasting and stuff. I haven't done fasting yet. It might be harder than the one I'm going to mention, but he did cold water. He had this guy. I forgot this guy who was this ultra athlete. Joe Rogan level.
Oh yeah.
I'll swim in 28 degree water. It could be frozen. You had to break it to get in. This guy's swimming like a race. It's crazy, but it's mind over matter. And now, what cold water does to your body and how it cleans your body of toxins.
It's tremendously good for you.
I'll do this. And our shower is furthest away from the water heater. We're on the second floor.
Same as ours.
I'll turn it on, first one. I'll work out in the morning or just taking a shower. It takes 1.5 to 2 minutes for that water to get temperature. I'm blasting this cold water. My head is
frozen.
numb.
Yeah.
But know what I noticed? It's only 5 seconds of crazy.
Yeah.
It's that oh crap, that's cold. I mean, because it's not free, but it's got to be 30s.
Yeah.
And I did that, and then I'll watch my heart rate spike. Mm-hmm. I'm waking up, I'm in my 40s, high 30s, and then it's 70 or 80 because my heart. But then I start breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing stress reducer, and it's amazing how the body will adapt.
Yeah.
Bare feet outside, and it's just a matter of doing it. People are unless you got some sort of health issue, people are so gentle on their body. They're I don't want to push, but
push it.
You got. That's what walking and running. People, you talk osteoporosis and bone. You increase bone density when you go out for a walk or a run.
And I'm sure, speaking of osteoporosis, you've seen the studies that Okay, this next generation, they're saying, is going to have neck and back problems because they're always hunched over
Oh, yeah.
looking at their phones, right? So, I mean, we always try to upright, good posture. My posture's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, I know. I looked
But-
at the video of like back here. And I'm like Quasimodo over here. I'm like, what the man? I gotta like. I think it's the chair. And as I'm saying that, I'm gonna like do some
Move your
adjustments
mat.
here. Pardon. Yeah. See, so like just doing that.
Yeah.
Getting back because my wife will come over. I said this before. I think on the computer. I'm like this.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have my glasses on. Like
Yeah.
glasses. Right? And she'll come over behind me, right? And she'll take my shoulders and she'll pull them back. So it's so funny. Now, it's like Pavlov, right?
Yeah.
So she comes over, I see her and I'm like,
Yep.
whoops, thanks, honey, for walking
up
by.
straight. I'm up
there we
straight.
go. There we go. But like having a good chair. I have this standing desk here at school, and so I could stand up more because I grade a lot. I'm like, I'm just going to grade from a standing position.
Yeah.
And getting out for a walk, it's and we're saying all this as we're talking about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Talk
Oh.
about walking.
Switching
out.
gears.
Yeah.
Small Business Saturday.
Yes.
Started in 2010.
Really?
So let's see if we have. Let's see. Oh, Cyber Monday start. So let's see what. When did they start? Okay, let's see. Oh, 5 years earlier than. So it maybe took a little while for the Small Business Saturday to kick in, but it started in 2005 for Cyber Monday, and then 2010 Small
Okay.
Business Saturday. Now, for a historian, when the whole Black Friday?
Black Friday. So, from what I understand, from
Yep.
what I remember, Black Friday started just as the Great Depression was coming to an end.
Okay.
And the whole idea was to get the economy going
Right.
for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, to try to boost the economy for Christmas, I can't think of what president it was, but he helped get started Black Friday.
Yep.
Which was an idea to get people out and go shopping.
Right.
Right. So this is the big day. Let's get going for the Christmas season. Thanksgiving just ended.
Yep.
Let's get things going for Christmas. So I'm going to say probably mid to late 30s.
Okay.
Here, check my watch. I'm going to be way off, but I'm going to say late 30s, mid 30s, 1930s.
Let me see. Earliest known Black Friday referred to factory management and maintenance for November 1951.
51?
Yes.
Wow, I was way off.
Here referred to the practice of workers calling in sick on the day after Thanksgiving in order to have a 4-day weekend. Already tapping that early. Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving hangover.
Yeah, must have eaten something
sorta.
bad.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So
I think I went out Black Friday shopping once,
okay.
and I have very low tolerance. Like, I don't like
For
the crowds. I don't like rude
the
people.
general experience and vibe on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it. I don't know. As being a teacher, I should be more out there with people. But I think because we deal with people all day, and I enjoy it,
Yeah.
I don't want to go out into public and fight crowds.
No.
Rude people. Everybody's kind of got a little craze to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
And-
like I said, it's almost like the kid without the phone, like the rabid dog sort of
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
No offense to Black Friday shoppers, but
No,
just saying.
listen, there's a lot of people out there
are
that
decent.
do a great job. They
Yeah.
come home with a carload and they're set for Christmas.
Yeah.
I found Cyber Monday to just be, now my kids will laugh because
Yeah.
I get a bunch of stuff that I think they'll like, and then they laugh and they're like, Dad, what is this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's a great techie tool. You'll love it.
Yeah. If I were you, I'd want it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
If I were you, I would use this.
So if you're not gonna, I might just regift it.
Well, it's funny. So one year I bought my kids AirPods.
Oh.
So my
yeah.
one daughter, my older
Those are
daughter,
great.
Shaylin, I bought her the Apple. But I
Okay.
didn't want to buy Peyton the same ones because I figured if they mixed them up.
Oh yeah.
So I got her a pair, I can't think of the name,
Right.
Jabra.
Oh
Jabras.
yeah. I got a
Jabras
pair
are
for my
great.
dog. Yeah, they're great.
Right? So I
Oh,
bought her
boy.
Jabras. And she opened it up. She's, what are these? Right? And
Yeah.
I said, those are great headphones.
Yeah.
Right? So she didn't want them. I took them. I had them for years.
Yeah, they
I had them
worked.
for years until I lost the case, the charging case.
Yep.
So I had to order new ones. But I'm a big fan of Cyber Monday. If I'm going to do
Okay.
any shop, most of my shopping is, I'll even do my grocery shopping sometimes online.
Oh,
You know?
oh, I mean, that's silver lining of the pandemic. Like, how
Yes.
many places that never had that, like, convenience. And now, also, you might even save, my wife likes it, but she'll even save some money.
Yeah.
Because you think of how many, like, impulse buys you have. You go there hungry, first of all.
Oh, that's the worst idea.
I mean, so you can, like, kind of overcome those hurdles by getting what you need, in and out.
Yeah.
Not tempted. Not
No.
walking down aisles.
Yeah, don't go shopping hungry.
I'm the worst. I just can't go shopping. Like, if...
No.
Or go to Lowe's. Because
Oh my God.
my wife, my daughter too, she's like, well, Dad said he's going to Lowe's. So what'd he say? An hour? Multiply that by 3.
Yeah.
And add 2 more.
Yeah.
They're not far off.
No.
I mean, how many times? Yeah, I mean, talking. I don't shop. Don't have to shop hungry at Lowe's, but I have projects in the back burner.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could use that. I don't need it right now.
Right, you're going to need that tool.
And then I leave the store, or I catch some people's ears. We're talking and whatever. I see a friend, my buddy that's also wasting time at Lowe's.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like black hole. For women, it's like a Pinterest and or other like beauty stores or Target. And then guys, it's Lowe's or Home Depot. Choose your poison.
Yes.
And it's so funny. You go in there, and how many times have you come out and not got what you went in for?
Oh, well, I would say the percentage has got to be 60-70% of the time. Like sometimes I'll go in, you're right,
Yeah.
the distraction,
Ah.
the male ADD
Ooh,
kicks
shiny.
in. And you start going over here and you're looking at this and that, and then you cash out. You're like, all right, stop spending money.
Yeah.
Just go get, you right? You
Yep.
cash out and you get in the car and you're like, why did I come here?
Right.
What was the purpose? Right?
Oh man, like you got to write it like on your hand or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Like wear a shirt that has it on there. Like I'm looking if found, direct me to this aisle.
Yes. That's the other great thing. Like, so I do use my phone. I have the Home Depot app.
Oh yeah.
So if I need something, I look it up. It tells you exactly what aisle,
Yes, that
how
is
much
awesome.
is in stock,
Yes.
which is not always accurate,
Right.
right? But so I know exactly where to go.
Right.
So on the days I feel disciplined, like I'm in a rush,
Yeah.
go right to that aisle, get what I need. But even then, like they're great at marketing.
Oh.
The stuff in the middle aisles,
Yeah.
right? That you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could use that,
Yeah.
right? I need one of those.
That I didn't know I needed that.
No.
But Christmas is coming up. Do I? Well,
Yeah.
like I mean, everyone would come home like, well, I was gonna get you that. Well, I got myself that.
Yeah. So I've been really good at trying to not buy things that I, quote, need,
Right.
because I don't really need them
No.
right now.
Right. That's a good point.
But, you're probably the same way. Your wife probably does a lot of the shopping, right? My
Yep.
wife does a lot of shopping. So I just give her the money, and I say, okay, you get whatever, because they'll like what you get.
Yeah.
Because if it's up to me,
Oh,
I
boy.
think they're going to like it, and they're going to. But I think that's a dad and daughter thing, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so funny because how many times have you had you're at a store and you're getting said gift for said person and you're like, hey babe, what do they like?
Yeah.
Was it this one? No, you're way off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and just completely bombing like you getting the headphones you thought they're gonna like, and then if I got something, my wife would be like, yeah, they don't like that. You didn't know that?
Right.
Not
Yeah.
being rude, but just you should have known that. You should have
Yeah, how
listened.
do you
So
not know that?
I don't know. I'll be honest. They're better listeners. It's like they're better listeners. They're better lookers. Like finding stuff in the fridge.
Yes.
It's right in front of me.
It's right there.
You can't see it, but I can see the shiny thing at Lowe's very easily.
That's, again, I think that's
Shiny.
the
It came with 2
risk-taking,
batteries.
The risk taking, the bad listening, the ADD, that's all male.
That's why we aren't shoppers. I bet you if you took a percentage of, I'm not even gonna look this up, but if I were just to ballpark a percentage of women that do black, or I said Freudian slip, I would say percentage of people that go shopping on Black Friday. I would dare say it's leaning heavily, very heavily towards women.
It's got to be.
I mean, men, Monday. We're like sitting at a
Charter,
desk.
I bet your Charter might have something on that.
All right, so I'm gonna find that. We'll put that on the website.
I'll write into them and see if they can do some research.
Yes, that'd be fascinating.
Yeah, male versus female shoppers on Black Friday.
See, that's a whole other episode. Another thing I know we had talked about before, our traditions and whatnot, but one of the big traditions, because I did a lot of research on this, so I want to make sure we hit this a little bit. You might know about the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now I did some facts. So when do you think it started? What year?
Macy's Day Parade?
Yes, if you were to guess.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 19. It's got to be early on. I'm going to go just 1925.
1 year ahead. So you're 1 year ahead. 1924. Yes, phenomenal.
Wow.
I am so impressed.
Black Friday historical knowledge.
Hey, well, that's now we're redirected and we're looking good. Yeah. So 1924. So you know all about it was the Roaring '20s.
Yes.
So vaudeville, flappers, speakeasies. Those were I love watching shows where they have speakeasies, like those hidden bars. That, were those
cool.
Yeah. When was, speaking of that? When was Prohibition?
I think Prohibition was 1918.
So that's why speakeasies were right around that time, because it was I remember seeing a recreation of them and in current day, and what they do is they have an old school telephone booth. If you don't know what a telephone booth is, Google it, and then you go in to make a call and you pick it up and it has the person and they open the door from the inside and let you in. That and the secret.
So, have you been to Albany's? I don't know if it's open anymore. Albany has a 518 speakeasy.
That's what the name of it was. Okay. Yep.
Yes. Pretty cool place. Same thing.
Yeah.
No advertisements. Mm-hmm. It was just an awning on the side of a building with a red light.
Oh, cool.
The windows are boarded up.
Yeah.
And you ring the doorbell. Door's locked. Right, and somebody answers the door.
I like it.
And so you go in, and it's all the decor, 1920s.
Yeah.
The bartenders, everybody's got the same dress at that time.
Right.
A lot of them have the curly mustache.
Oh yeah, the little handlebar.
Yeah, just a great throwback era look. I don't even know if they're open anymore.
I remember. Yeah, that was a lot. That was before I call it BP, not the oil company, but before pandemic.
Before pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, pandemic crushed businesses.
Yeah.
But I think we're on a rebound.
I think so.
So.
I see our local tavern. Actually, someone I work with is related to the owner of Mohawk Tap Room.
Tap Room, yeah.
And now they're remodeling.
Yeah,
I mean, it's looking good. They're doing great. They kept alive during the pandemic. They did delivery, all sorts of delivery, but pickup. You could come in and pick it up. Just great stuff.
Yeah.
So speaking of tying it, doing great stuff, is that Macy's was doing so well, because at the time of the Macy's Day Parade, I think they occupied several blocks. Their store was. It was absolutely massive, and their president was Herbert Strauss.
Okay.
Now, get about this. This is something I never knew. The Macy's Parade, from idea to Thanksgiving, 2 weeks.
Really?
2 weeks.
That's how fast you put it together?
Yeah. Now, it wasn't like the Macy's Day Parade we see now, with it's it's got all its shine and glory and glimmer. But yeah, in 2 weeks, and it was absolutely incredible. It was, and a lot of it, and still to this day, Macy's employees were participants. They helped build floats. They were walking in the parade. So
really?
I never knew that. So I don't know what the percentage is now, but that I never knew, from floats. I don't know if some builds with the balloons and stuff, and that's why I got into being art, the design of the balloons and all of that sort of stuff. But so I'll show you here. I'll put this up on the video afterwards. I'm just gonna. Here is the first the flyer. That's what it looked like, and I think they might even had guys. We're just showing guys on stilts.
Yeah.
They had some big kind of crew. They had a lot of clowns and whatnot. The current route, though, here's a crazy fact. It was 6 miles at the origin.
Oh, wow.
And then within a couple years, they shifted it down to a measly 2.5.
Not even a 3K or 5K.
Right. Not even that. But you think about, and they had, now you don't see these anymore, but in the earlier days, first 5 years, they had animals. They borrowed from, where was it? Let me see if I got it here.
Barnum and Bailey?
The Brooklyn Zoo, I think it was. If I got, oh yeah. So,
Clowns, brass bands, and everything that makes
absolutely
a real circus parade.
Amazing. So yeah,
elephants, bears, camels, monkeys, clowns, brass bands. Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Now all the animals are blown up floats.
right. The floats. So, yeah, Central Park Zoo. Sorry, not Brooklyn Zoo.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically a lot of the, like back in the day, how stores advertised was like they say that term window shopping, right?
Yeah.
And down in the city, like people like walk around, and like wife's going down there tomorrow with my daughter to see a Broadway show for her birthday, and they do a lot of like Gimbals, Toy Store. They make big displays in windows. They have huge windows, and like they advertise their products, right?
Yeah.
From whether it's a TV, whether it's a chair, they make it look like a living room setup, and they really want to draw you in. And basically, what a lot of the employees did is they dressed up as characters that were in these storefronts and stuff that they had already designed. So they're literally bringing it to life, which is really, really cool. And their first year, 250,000 people were live there watching the parade.
Wow.
Within 2 weeks advertisement. I mean, granted, there's a lot of people that lived there. I don't know how many people lived in New York City at that time, but
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see because obviously New York City is one of the biggest cities, or was.
Yeah.
I know they're losing population.
but it's dense. I mean,
Yes, very
it's
dense.
super, super dense.
Yep. That's interesting. I mean, I know, so traditionally, every Thanksgiving morning,
Yep.
my wife's making food, she's getting things ready.
Yeah.
The parade's got to be on.
Right. No matter if you're watching it, like, in the background, or have it in the background, or if you're, like, hanging on the next
Yeah.
performance, right?
Yeah. It's funny. So years ago, we got DirecTV,
Yep.
right? And it was cheaper than cable, and it was great. Everything was great. So my tradition on Thanksgiving mornings, I always go hunting.
Right.
Okay, so at the time, I was
Sorry.
hunting out in Westerlo, New
Okay.
York. Okay,
Yeah.
so about 45 minutes away. And it had snowed that morning.
Oh.
So the snow covered the satellite for DirecTV.
Uh-oh.
So my wife was blowing up my phone because the signal wasn't coming through so she could watch the parade.
Oh, no.
So I had to get down quietly out of my stand, get to my truck, drive home, and I actually got a ladder, and I filled a squirt gun with hot water, and I sprayed the
That's creative. That's like a MacGyver
it was like
fix.
a big machine gun squirt gun.
You can see that on Thanksgiving.
And I just-
What is this guy doing?
Yeah, in a camouflage outfit up on a ladder.
You got police reports.
Yes. Some crazy guy on a ladder. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
I was able to like get the snow to slide off the satellite,
Yeah.
and then she could watch the parade.
Oh my gosh.
So at
I'm
that
never going to
point-
get that thought out of my head. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I rushed home, but then at this point it was like 10:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get ready for the day,
Yeah.
and so my hunting day was over. But I canceled DirecTV shortly after that.
No more.
No more.
I mean,
Just-
snow. I mean, come on.
yeah.
I mean, we live in Northeast. We should be able to handle that.
yeah.
They should have like a heating element built into it or something.
Something. But
Rest in peace.
yeah.
DirecTV.
Goodbye, DirecTV.
Yeah, I know. I remember we had issues with that.
Yeah.
My good friend of mine, roommate in college, we got DirecTV, and one time we thought it'd be a good idea. I don't know if we're like, we're not going to pay X amount to have the guy come over and set it up. Two college grads here.
We can do it.
We can set it up. I don't know if we eventually have to ask him if we eventually did get it set up, but we're trying to line this azimuth, Pepto Bismuth, whatever sort of angle you're supposed to be. I don't know where I'm supposed to shoot. I'm like looking at stars. I'm like, I think that star looks. Let's just shoot it that direction.
Let's go that way. See if it
Yeah.
works.
Anything? Nope.
That's we were talking about movies, Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah.
But Christmas, have you ever seen the movie Four Christmases?
Four Christmases. No.
Vince Vaughn.
Oh, he's in a bunch.
Oh, so there's a scene in the movie. I could watch it 100 times and die laughing.
Yeah.
He buys his father a satellite to watch TV, and his father's old school. He's like, I'm fine with my rabbit ears.
Yeah.
And they're up on the roof, and they're yelling, "Did you get a signal yet?" And they're just turning the satellite. Is there a signal? And he's like, "No, there's no signal." And it's just a hysterical scene.
Oh, well, it is. It's just,
yeah.
It's a pain in the butt. I mean, I've done that with when we were like, oh, we're not going to pay so much for cable, and we went with over-the-air antennas.
Yeah.
So basically, it's called Leaf.
Mohu
Leaf. It's like a flat, looks like a placemat.
Sure.
And you just put it up on the wall. It's nice. And you can do white or black depending on your decor. But we're trying to watch a show that's live, right? Because there was no DVR going on. And I'm up there, and I'm like sticking to the wall. I got one foot on the edge of the couch. The other one, I'm kind of like doing a little pirouette. You know, if you want to even call it a pirouette. It's good. It's good. I let go of it. I broke the connection.
Yes.
It's not good. I put my hand back up. It works. What's going on? So I'm like,
you were part of the connection.
I was.
The satellite was coming through you.
I was like, is this good?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
But, now today everything's Roku.
Yeah, Roku, your phone, you
stick.
could cast it as long as you got the interwebs going.
Right. So, what's your Thanksgiving Day tradition? Do you have traditions?
Yeah, I do. Hopefully, like I said, I don't know if I'm on the fence of whether I'm going to sign up for one. I've done it last minute, is the turkey trot.
Yep.
Sometimes my wife and I both done it, or, like we're hosting this year, and I don't know if she'll do it or if I'm going to do it. But even if I don't go to run, like now we live over Sky, so we do the Cardiac Classic. I used to do the one in Cohoes.
Yep.
And we'll do a 5K. I look at it as my way to kind of earn the Thanksgiving dinner. But then we'll come home, and that's like 8:30, come home, and it's a 5K, so it's not long. Hang out, grab some snacks, and then we'll go back, and then, the house is starting to smell nice. The turkey's already going. Macy's Day Parade comes on. So, we're doing that. And I think, that's pretty much it. If I don't run in a race, I'll go out and kind of make my own, like, when COVID was around, like, I'm just going to go out and make my own turkey trot.
Yeah.
And I got tons of 5Ks around, and I just like the idea of putting your feet in the ground, like getting out there. The hardest part is just doing it.
Absolutely.
Getting out of bed. Swinging your legs down off the bed. Once you do that, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. I can hop. I've had runs where I was out on a run, and it's like people ask me, like, why are you doing this? Like, it's in the morning. We used to do it with my neighbors sometimes. Talking 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I'm out there. Mm-hmm. I got a headlamp. I'm keeping an eye out for deer at this time of year. Oh, I got this blinky vest on. I look like a disco ball, but people see me, so that's good.
Yeah.
And it's like I can see my own breath when I'm running. But it's cool. Like, I've literally woken up on runs like that, and I tell you, like once I'm up and my sneakers are on and I set up my stuff. Preparation is half the battle. Like
getting out of bed.
Doing that, so highly recommend it. My area is pretty dark. I get everybody telling me, "Oh, you gotta be careful. You gotta, watch out for." I always had to watch out for goofballs on the road. There's
what we watch out for is actually the paper delivery guys.
Yeah,
they're come flying around.
Do they drive on the wrong side of the road like they're in England too? And this guy's doing like zigzag across the road, and I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. I'm like, oh, he's got music blasting. It's like a classic pizza delivery guy. I'm like, what is this guy delivering pizzas in the morning? Who's this clown? Because I'm out running. It's like 4. Yeah, like those guys are out 3:30. Yeah. 2.
They pick up their papers and they're flying around.
So
now here's a Thanksgiving thing. So I was a paper delivery boy for years.
Okay.
I hated delivering the papers at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Because they were 2 inches thick.
Oh, 300 ads.
Yeah, and my brother and I had a paper route. I think we had over 100 houses.
Yeah.
It was just straight up our street, take a left, go down halfway down the other street.
Yeah.
He did one side, I did the other side.
Right.
And Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving morning, Black Friday,
Yeah.
all those papers, they were, you can't carry them on you. We had the
I can see the bike.
yeah. We had the big sling bag
Yeah.
that's connected to the Gazette.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you shove them all in there, and then when you fold, there was a certain fold
Yeah.
when you were paper delivery.
Oh, yeah, but those weren't.
Trifold. You couldn't fold those,
No.
right? And
Rubber bands would cry, I think.
Yeah. So I found out early on. I was probably 10 or 11 when I started that route. If you just throw it on somebody's door, you think it's too heavy. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, once a wind comes,
Oh,
you
forget
come
it.
back down the street.
So what do
there's
you-
flyers everywhere.
So what do you, yeah. What do you do with
So we
like
did,
the
we
big
did
ones?
go with rubber bands.
Yeah.
So you just put a rubber band on it. You
Huge.
try to curl it up as best you can. Put a rubber band on it.
Yeah.
And hope. Now, back then, this is in the 80s.
Yeah.
The people, once they heard the paper hit the porch,
Oh,
They
they
came
weren't
out, got it.
distracted.
yeah.
That's it.
It's just most people,
Yeah.
But those were the worst days being a paper boy.
Yeah.
Especially Christmas. If it used to snow a lot in Christmas.
Yeah, it seems like over time it doesn't as much. I remember growing up with that. I mean, actually, I had one Christmas when my wife and I were still dating. She lived off like by Wilton.
Oh, wow.
Right? And I lived in Cohoes, so it's a good 40 minutes in good weather. And there's one time I had this little, best way to describe it, like a Dodge Omni style
Yeah.
vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best for traversing snowy roads. And I'm like, babe, I'm gonna try. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I get a mile away from my house. I'm like, I'm not going for it. I am
around.
dead in the water.
Yeah.
But we've been married double digits here. So and then we dated, for a long time. So I can't remember like on Christmas, like we have. Actually, not too long ago, be a little before the pandemic, we had one. My in-laws come over and they visit houses.
Yeah.
Right. So when the kids open a big gift and stuff, so we come over, they have coffee here, or we make a monkey bread at our house. Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Side thought. But and my father-in-law was like, yeah, we're coming over. And I was like, just so you know, I'm not shoveling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're
Just
going to
so
have to, put on the galoshes, put on the knee-highs, boots, but I'm not getting out there until, like, things are done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I think he had someone plow his,
Yeah.
but,
No.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And nowadays my son will come out and, help me for a small fee.
I'd have to look up that statistic. 'Cause I feel, and I could be wrong, that before Christmas there was always snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And lately, I want to say maybe the past 10, 15 years, maybe the climate has, shifted a little bit
Yeah.
to later. Because, we always get snow in January, February.
Yeah.
But it used to be December, January, February.
Right.
So, being a paper boy, Christmas, you always knew there was snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? That was part of the whole...
Right. It's like the mood. It's like Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Yeah.
Something. It's hard to explain for people that have always lived in a warm climate. Like we have friends that live over in California. They lived here before, but imagine if you just lived over there all the time and
No
never
snow.
experienced. It doesn't mean as much. Like a White Christmas doesn't mean as much to you,
Yeah.
or like Hawaii or somewhere. Like where you just never see that. It just like this time of year, looking out the window in upstate New York, and it's brown. Trees have their beauty even without leaves, and then the grass is kind of getting kind of yellow, and the snow just covers up all the imperfections of what
Yes.
you see. Especially, I love it when you get like that heavy snow. You probably from hunting, like when the branch it just catches. It looks like a painting,
Oh, it's awesome.
and how it completely transforms an area, right? Even like you walk down this path 100,000 times in the summer, and then you walk in the snow and you're almost disoriented.
Oh, yeah.
You like your markers like is this?
Yeah.
And how awesome it looks,
A
is
good snow, there's nothing like it.
and also talk about like distractions.
Yeah.
How quiet it is. You open the door and the plow hasn't come yet. Mm-hmm. I remember on Christmas we were just talking about, the plow had not touched. I remember like the grab, because we're in like a neighborhood off a neighborhood, you know, like, so we're one of the last ones to get done.
Okay.
Yes.
Little break. We're back.
All right.
So, you know, our topic was supposed to be Thanksgiving, and we kind of went all over the place, which is fine.
It's kind of like conversations on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, just catching up.
Yeah.
Now, on Thanksgiving, I know we talked about last year or year before, we talked about meals and whatnot, but where are you usually at on Thanksgiving? Like, and like how many, like what's your group demographics look like?
Okay, so every Thanksgiving we go to my parents.
Okay.
And so like I said, I have 3 brothers.
Right.
So, and let's see, how many nieces and nephews do I have now? I have 2, 4, 7 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
Plus my kids. So there's 9 kids.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
4 boys, my parents. So, you know, they have a house out in Schoharie. They live in Schoharie. And, you know, huge dining room table. And then there's a kids' table. And, you know, so we always end up there.
Yeah.
You know, we go there for a few hours. And, you know, then, you know, there's an in-laws. And everybody's got to go to their in-laws. And
So you do, is it multi-day or multi-house in a day sort of thing?
Well, you know what's good.
Or do you do like dinner and then dessert?
We do dinner at my parents.
Okay.
And then my wife has her family over at our house for dessert.
Oh,
So
see, that's how we're trying to do 2 full setups.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the dessert, that now you just you can eat like a champ and still, you know, like have your
Right.
drive time and a little bit of digestion, and then
Yeah. So so it works out. It's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to see everybody, to get everybody together.
So it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And you know, I just personally enjoy the whole time of year. You know, like we were talking about
Agreed.
the weather. I'll take a 40, 30 degree day over an 80, 90 degree day.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I agree.
You know, so I love the weather. It's football season, the beginning of basketball season. It's hunting season.
All things you love.
Thanksgiving,
Right.
Everything. I'm in heaven.
I mean, yeah, it's like, like some people, like when they say like that song is the most wonderful time of the year, you notice I didn't sing it because it wouldn't be pretty for the ears. But, you know, for us, it's most wonderful time of year with, it's like you said, all those events that are going on and everything. So it's really, you know, to each person, their wonderful time of year is, it may be like picking out the Christmas tree. It might be, it might, you know, like Thanksgiving could be like the time where people are like planning, setting up for the big. So it's like but I think the thing I like about it is that the Christmas time or the Thanksgiving time is not really commercialized.
No.
I mean, you get more shows on HGTV and Food Network, which I like watching. I always watch them at night, and it's really like I'm hungry. I'm like, why am I watching this? Yeah, like I want to have what they're making right now, and I can't. Right. It takes too long to make it.
No, not at this time of night. Right, I'm with you. You know, it's not as commercialized. What I don't like. And we talked a little bit about retail stores.
Oh,
where they start, even before Thanksgiving, they start decorating and advertising for Christmas. I would say, no, let's celebrate this first. Let's get this in.
Working in I've worked Black Friday retail. One was with my wife. One was that was at Linens and Things.
Linens and Things.
That's like OG upstate. I don't even know. It's it might be nationwide, but they went out of business. There was Bed Bath and Beyond, and then there was Linens and Things, just kind of like a home store. Yeah. And that Black Friday was like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Best Buy Black Friday was a different story.
Oh, yeah.
So my shift on Black Friday was 4 a.m. in the morning till 4 p.m. that night. It was it was almost like a doctor shift. Yes. Right? I mean, you have like these crazy hours. But there was a guy, so I worked during the week there, and, I think there was a guy that had a tent as of Monday or Tuesday of the week of Thanksgiving there.
Yeah.
Because how Best Buy worked, I don't know if they still work it this way, but they have doorbusters, right? But the doorbusters, I guess it is first come, first serve. But if you're in line waiting, what we do is I have, let's say I have 6 tickets for a 60-inch TV.
Yeah.
I go down the line. Do you want this? Do you want this? And then take the next one. Do you want this? Do you want this one? And then you get first dibs on that. So, but my argument for going out on Black Friday versus a Cyber Monday, or even later, sometimes later you can wait as long as you get it in time, right, for shipping. And now, pretty soon you're going to have Amazon, doing drone drops of TVs and stuff, so I don't know if there's much. I was before, let's keep a Black Friday sale ad, right?
Yeah. Then
look at sales and prices as you get closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
Does it change? Is it that big of a and it wasn't.
No.
No. Sorry to rain on the Black Friday parade for those who love it, but some people like going out. I know Mr. Sawicki and I getting your $7 Marvel DVDs, or going through the bin. One time we went to Walmart after Black Friday, the initial, we had breakfast, we didn't rush out. We're I don't even know we had kids, but went to Walmart.
Yep.
In Glenville, and no one was there. So you're talking probably 8:39.
Yeah.
We just walked in. There's tons of employees, but hardly anybody. People have already masses have already come through. It's imagine if you watch a time lapse of goats clearing a grass field. That just what happened. We came through and after they had already done that.
Yeah.
So things might have been picked over, but we were shuffling through that, the big bin of DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm oh, man, I found this. But I had time. I wasn't it wasn't Hungry Hippos, 700 people at the feeding trough at the same time.
Right.
And we got some deal. I didn't that I wouldn't mind. A Black Friday, just go in when I feel like it.
Yeah.
But
not with the crowd.
No,
it gets crazy.
People did run. With Best Buy, people were not quite Walmart, but people were I want that TV. I want this. I want that. And, just running, and I'm oh, where's this? Where's this? Some people even they kind of maybe had little diagrams in the store, map it out, because you can't find them online. But I'm sure you go on Reddit and people there's probably a whole thread of Black Friday, ninjas or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
But so it's Black Friday. No, I think Small Business Saturday. I think definitely I'll jump on Mr. Sawicki bandwagon and encourage that.
Yeah,
and get people out with the local
shops. I didn't really know
shops.
about that, but I'm down with small businesses. I think
because what do you get right at a small business that you don't get at a store? Again with Walmart, I've walked in. How many times have you walked, I count on one hand, how many times you walked into a Walmart and not interacted with a single employee? Not gotten a hello icon?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm just, on one hand, maybe 3 times.
Right.
Where I, looked at the person and said, hi, or my friend even asked, another time, she asked the person, do you speak English? There's a lot of time, nothing wrong, but if we work here, you need to have a little bit of understanding of the language if you're interacting with the majority of the people that speak English, right?
And if they don't, they're a little tentative to talk.
Right.
Because they don't understand.
But she asked, and she's the person's yeah, I speak English. But, I don't think she was in the wrong for doing that. But a majority of the people, like I said, either have not said hello to me or, maybe don't speak English. I hear a lot of different languages going on.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but we just got to be accepted. If I go to another country, I want to learn a little bit of that language so I can communicate and not look they'll know I'm American or whatever, but still.
Sure.
But anyway, the Saturday, Small Business Saturday, I used to love going to a bike shop. The guy retired to be with his wife who was ill, but I'd go and we'd talk. I'm not a politics guy, but he would talk and I would listen, and we'd talk about this or that. One day we had a conversation about different types of scat. Which is poop
in the woods, yeah,
animal poop,
yeah,
droppings, and he was like, "Yeah, check out, like I don't even know if he had pictures, but he was describing it to me. He goes, that's how you can tell like the freshness of it, of when the animal was there, and what it did, and what animals are in that area." And I'm like, "This is fascinating." Like I wouldn't have got that at Walmart or Target.
No,
No,
you don't get that conversation with somebody because there's just a mass amount of people coming in and out of those doors,
right,
all day.
It's turnstile. It's just you're here. You won it yesterday, and it's just like I think people are in a rush. And see, so this is like going back to Lowe's.
Yeah.
This is my debacle. So I'm not go through the turnstile fast shopper type of guy, right? Unless I'm like crazy hurry. But I can't be that like always every store visit is like a small business Saturday shop.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, so Joe, hey, Joe in the tool aisle. I'm just talking to him about his kids, and oh yeah, I forgot. I need to ask you, where are that type of screw? Looking for the 9mm screw, like that. And then it's like like the time warp.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Yeah.
So I have to find that happy medium. So hey, Mr. Sawicki, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm popping into the middle of this episode.
Yes.
Somewhere in the episode, I just arrived on a Santa's sleigh at the back of the Macy's Day Parade.
Yes.
When the seasons signaled a change.
Yes.
We had a bit of a scheduling snafu going on there, Mr. Blais, Mr. Whipple, myself. But yeah, I'm definitely pumped to come on for at least a segment of the Thanksgiving episode. So much appreciation to Mr. Blais and Mr. Whipple for holding down the other parts. But here I am. Yes, I have arrived. So
it's great. Yeah, I think this is probably the first time we've done a two-part.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a mismatch one. Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure how the tech's going to work out, but Mr. Blais is the tech guru, so
we can the planets will align and
work your Christmas and Thanksgiving magic, to pull it off. So
we'll be able to get this looking good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think what Mr. Whipple, we kind of talked about, just to catch you up on. Kind of all things. We were all like normally, like we
all over the place.
Skip around like a rock on the pond with the topic, but we talked predominantly a lot about like some traditions. Talked a little bit about Cyber Monday.
Oh, okay.
Small Business Saturday that you got my hooked on.
Pipe those up.
And then also Black Friday.
Right.
The OG,
which I've already seen the sales have begun.
Yeah.
I think even last week you go into stores and it's like Black Friday is now.
Right.
They turn it into like 2 weeks now to maximize profit, and
it's just
I guess they want to avoid that chaos. I think we said that last year, the mad rush. But I missed that. I truly I liked 5 a.m. at the door, one day free for all.
Right.
Now it's prolonged.
It is. They're trying to milk it a little bit.
Yeah, all totally.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know with working in retail. Have you worked in retail before?
I never have, no.
So
thankfully.
Speaking of
it seems like a nightmare.
For, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're thankful for not
that'd be a good list. What are you thankful to never have done? I've never worked in retail.
Yes.
Especially around the holidays. I feel terrible for some of those poor employees.
Yes.
If I could count the times I've seen a customer screaming at an employee. Yeah. Thinking first of all, it's not going to get you anywhere.
No.
Just have patience. It's a human being. They don't own the company, so yelling at them is going to make no difference.
Right, right, exactly. I mean, we go out to dinner, right? And there's certain things that that will be like the cook's responsibility.
Right.
There's certain things that are
the waiter,
servers,
waitress, right?
Waiters, waitress, and maybe hostess sometimes, but sometimes the hostess may forget you and sit somebody else in front.
That's true.
But all things we having served, many years ago, my wife and I take those into account.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We give a little extra grace.
Sure.
For little issues
patience,
that come up. If something comes out and it's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, maybe they wrote it down wrong. And then they'll compensate you. They'll throw you a little something, and we get it. We don't. There's no. Don't mistreat a server, because they're providing you food.
Right.
You never know what will happen behind closed doors, too. I'm not saying. I mean,
You hope
get
not.
a person,
You hope not.
sometimes I've never personally done that. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Like I just kind of, I'm a
No
kill
more
with kindness guy.
On-air confessions. You've never spit in anybody's pizza you're serving. Here you go.
I always say, tables turned, no pun intended.
Yes.
Would I want the same
Exactly.
my way?
Right.
No.
No, I fully agree. I've always had this motto: the food is on the chef.
Yep.
The drinks are on the waiter, waitress.
Yep.
And then, the seat is on the host or hostess.
Yep.
But yeah, so if the steak is burnt, don't yell at the waiter.
Right.
They didn't cook it.
If it's cold, then it's on the waiter.
I know.
Right.
Yep.
And especially this time of year, I think it's so easy to lose track of like what the whole reason for the up and coming season is. But like we're in like a me first.
Yep.
I need it done 12 days ago mentality.
Unfortunately.
So I think it's amazing how far a little bit of putting others first goes. Like,
absolutely.
From a driving point of view, letting somebody go.
Yeah.
You see that you're not going to get much further.
Oh yeah.
Or even if it's no one's behind me on this road, go ahead.
Maybe that's a challenge I'll pitch to our listeners out there. Especially this season. So if you do see somebody, like Mr. Blais was saying, being obnoxious to a cashier,
right,
or being rude to a waiter, you don't have to jump in and like rectify that situation. But then like when the waiter comes to you, just be extra nice.
Yeah.
Or just say like, I appreciate you working. I'm sorry that happened over there. Try to like turn it around a little bit, because you can do it sometimes. Like
you can.
I had an experience just recently. I went to Saratoga Comic-Con on Saturday.
Okay.
And one vendor that I see every year there, he was very flustered. So, like, I made sure when I was going to look at his, like, he had the Lego minifigures.
Yep.
I specifically said, I'm going to ask his permission to touch them. I don't want to.
Right.
So I was like, sir, you mind if I pick up some of these figures? And he's like, you know what? He's like, thank you for saying that. He's like, the last guy in front of you was just like obnoxious, grabbing stuff, putting things back in the wrong spot. So I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. So let me respect your rules.
Respect.
And he actually said, he's like, and I appreciate that. Help me calm down. So I was like, beautiful. Pat myself on the back. Yes.
Diffuse that situation.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
So hopefully then he was the next customer, the next person in line.
Yeah,
so,
like a pay it forward.
Right. So look for those opportunities, especially over this extended vacation here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, always be looking, like not being like passive.
Sure.
I see somebody out on the side of the road, I'll come over and like, hey, is there something I can do? Help you out? Help with a car. I mean, how many people? Now that I got a truck, I get a tow rope. I could pull some people out. Maybe.
There you go. Right.
I got a truck, so I'm going to help people.
Sure.
That's just nature of the beast.
Hey. Sometimes it'd be somebody's saving grace there driving by. So
I mean, I always look. People always look for trucks like
flag it down like
a tow rope or something.
Yeah,
So I think before the wintertime, I might throw one in there and test out the power under the hood there.
Oh yeah, perfect. Put the horsepower to work there. Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Now, switching over to like the Macy's Day.
Yeah.
So
speaking of towing things.
There you go. Yes, there we go. I was looking for one. I was fishing around.
Yes.
There we go.
I thought you were going there naturally, but I was like, all right, I'll throw it out there.
I was trying. The Friday, I'm kind of like stumble trip.
Trying to find the analogies in your brain. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Cars is to towing as parades. Yes,
parades, definitely.
Yeah. So did you Mr. Whipple, talk about parades?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Fun fact, one of the fun fact about the parade,
Mm-hmm.
We call it the Macy's Day what?
Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
But it was originally called Christmas Parade.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Because basically, a majority of, I think I mentioned a little bit, but a majority of the purpose of it, we talked about it was planned. The owner of Macy, Herbert Strauss, was 2 weeks out planning this.
Yep.
And then hundreds of thousands of people attended, which is like crazy. I mean,
especially back then, right.
New York City, it's huch. So you got tons and tons of people, even more now. But originally, you think about it as kind of like, I think 1920s. I don't think from history, 1950s, I think we discovered Black Friday.
Yeah, right.
So it was before the Black Friday. So it was basically like a sales pitch.
Yeah, right.
For Christmas.
Yeah. But especially these big department stores, because they were the kings of the day. Sears, Macy's,
Right, and Macy's was huge. My wife was just down there. She was like, oh, I forgot where. It was like down on 34th.
Oh, yeah, the real Macy's store? Yeah, it's like 5th Avenue and 34th.
5th and 34th is huge, like blocks.
Their flagship store,
And, So we talked about, like it was mostly, and I think still to this day, they still have Macy's employees that basically made the parade.
Yeah, yeah.
And, they had
a lot of volunteers now, too. But
all
yeah,
volunteers, and they basically just recreated, like the term window shopping.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they recreated
absolutely. Their
what
windows
they
are
did in the
fantastic.
window fronts in the parade.
Beautiful.
So now, that was just a little sidebar. What about you? What do you remember most about, or what do you enjoy most about the parade?
Yeah, I think I've come to this point in my life, too, where I actually enjoy the parade maybe even more than the holiday itself.
Yeah.
Just because it is that once-a-year, event where you get to tune in at whenever it starts, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And, it's the set time, 8 to noon, so you get to watch it and enjoy it. One of the coolest things I really do enjoy is that even though it changes every year, so there'll be different balloons, different mascots. I'm sure if you watch it this year, it's going to be stuff that's cool to kids nowadays.
Right.
Whatever that could be. I don't know.
Pop culture, right.
Pop culture. So I think, the baby shark was on it.
Yeah.
Coco Melon, all this new stuff. So I'm watching it. I'm like, those are my balloons, but you better believe a few balloons later, here comes Garfield.
Right.
Or they'll have the Spider-Man, balloon. So they do have, the old ones tied in with the new.
Yeah, nice.
So, I always
nice
like that.
blend.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of cool to see the new balloons that they have, but still say, there's Snoopy wearing the old pilgrim hat. I knew he'd be there. Tom Turkey, that creepy-looking animatronic turkey that they have.
Oh, yeah.
So the familiarity is definitely there. I love that. We're both, obviously, you're an art teacher, but I love art. I just love, the craftsmanship and, the decor that goes into the floats and all the balloons, too.
Amazing.
So, that's incredible. Just a visual spectacle.
Yeah.
Your eyes are, feasting on what you're seeing, so.
It really, and the volume.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they, would have decoration. It's kind of like was on, Christmas. They have, is it the day after Christmas or New Year's? I always forget the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget too. It's
the
that
timing.
time of year. Yeah.
It's or after Christmas, but
right.
the same thing.
Sure.
They spend so much time
I know,
on
right.
these, and the floats can only be so big.
Yeah, right.
Because they have to get through tunnels.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. I think it was in an old where if I could find the location. It was basically an old factory in New Jersey where they made. It was I don't know. It was a candy factory that they used in Jersey. That's where they house and they build the floats and the balloons.
Yeah, cool.
And there's so much that goes.
Have you ever seen those balloons deflated? They're terrifying.
Oh, I can't.
It's pure nightmare fuel to see Charlie Brown but deflated.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's horrible looking.
Versus the opposite of seeing them.
Yeah.
Being I think they bring them out they have a staging area.
Yeah, right. They start filling them up.
They have drop cloths down and
right.
And some of the balloons have gotten so big. And,
oh yeah. That's why they had to take towards rounding them certain years too. Remember those?
Yep.
Too windy. They'll say, all right, we can't fly certain balloons this year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd see all 20 poor people on the tethers flying with a balloon
oh my gosh. and speaking of balloons, so in World War II, due to the demand for helium and rubber, because that's what they're made of, 60, maybe 60, I would say 600 pounds probably of rubber were donated from the deflated balloons to aid in the war effort.
Yeah, perfect, cool.
Which was cool, and that was the one where they didn't have floats.
Right.
And you said I think one time they had an issue with balloon falling over and hitting a lamppost.
Oh yeah, some injuries and things.
With the balloons, I think they said. So in 1927 they replaced animals. We used to have animals, but the animals.
Right. Animals, New York City.
Yeah.
Big crowds.
So I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah. So 40, I think. 30. I want to say 30. Oh yeah, over the wind. So this is when they canceled the balloons. This is what I didn't remember.
They have the criteria.
It was 23 miles per hour, when it's just a constant.
Yeah.
Or there was gusts predicted up to 40 miles an hour.
Okay.
They were not allowed to have it. One woman was put in a coma one time because of that. So I think they just.
Charlie Brown knocked her out.
Right, and now say hundreds of thousands of people when they first started it, but now they have 3.5 million people are present.
Crammed onto the road
route, which we mentioned last year when it first started. The route. Have any idea how long it was when it first came out?
Oh, man. I would maybe guess 5 blocks, 10 blocks.
It was, when it first came out, it was 6 miles long.
Oh, wow.
Over the top long. And now...
So it was huge back then. I thought it would have been smaller back then.
Yeah, but no. They were, I mean, I think, like maybe in the mentality of like go big or go home.
Yeah,
like this is our first outgoing. We're just going to go for broke.
I should have came with those stats. So what are the parameters for the parade?
Yeah.
So I know I'm pretty sure they go on 5th Avenue, but in between what, like, streets?
And they have, I have, let me see, where is, here we go, current route. I pull it up here, and I'll put it on the video, too.
Oh, there you go, perfect.
So here is the current route. So we have, I can't see. All right, 77th Street is where it starts.
Yep, okay.
And it starts at 8th Ave.
Yep.
Then they cruise down 6th Ave, off of 59th Street, come down, and then they finish
Herald Square, looks like.
Yeah, Herald Square on 34th and 8th there.
Only 2.5 miles today.
Only 2.5 miles. So go right by Central Park, kind of like where it starts.
Starting at Macy's itself,
I had some friends that went down. I don't know if they got... you have to get down there really early. He was a veteran.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So he had some, some access.
Special access, yeah.
And he got to be down there and watch them getting all filled. I'm like, that's got to be cool,
I have always wanted to look into, like, I'm sure people rent out their apartments along the route. So imagine that, like, bird's eye view of the parade.
Yeah, like an Airbnb.
They're probably astronomical rates for that day.
Gosh.
Like, equivalent to, like, Times Square, like an apartment. Like, hey, you want to come watch the New York City Times Square? Like, but be in a comfortable apartment, of course.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, because some days it's like cold and for people who haven't been in New York City, I've been down for the parade. I've been down a little before it, but I've been down there for the St. Patrick's Day parade, which was also like
still
I don't know a lot of the stats about it, but it's crossing the road in a parade is like next to impossible. It's like Mission Impossible.
Ultimate Frogger.
Yeah,
bouncing across the road.
And then not get in trouble. Like so, you have to plan. Like New York, New Year's Eve, you have to plan your bathroom trips.
I know. See, that's why I got so turned off. I used to want to go. It was on my bucket list.
Yeah.
New York City Times Square, but then people said you're outside for like 12 hours straight.
Yeah.
Like not moving, stuck in the crowd.
Right.
Like,
wear a diaper. I've heard.
Adult diaper. I'm like, nah.
Not unless I get to that time in life.
Yeah, seriously. I think I'd rather rent the apartment for whatever they want, $2-3
I'd pay
grand
for that.
probably. Yeah,
hands down.
Get a bunch of people to go in on it and say, all right, let's just rent this Airbnb.
Put that on like for New Year's Eve or Thanksgiving parade, a bucket list thing.
Yeah, totally.
You go down, you do it once, you said you did it.
Yeah, right. Cross it off.
But for now, what's neat too though, you see they have the kind of like second screen access to it. I need to put that on there.
Yeah.
So you can pull it up and then you could like Google Street View kind of manipulate the cameras, which is like
or some really like neat streaming services. I'm pretty sure YouTube. The first year I saw it,
maybe it was through YouTube.
Yeah, they just stream the parade, but it'll be just like different camera angles.
Yeah,
really no commentary, but you can still hear the street noise.
Yeah,
so it gives you more realistic.
Right,
without Al Roker or whoever it is, like standing there talking the whole time and commentating, which is not bad, but
Well, sometimes they miss, like they're talking, and then like a float happens in the background, and then talk about it, and
or the camera cuts away. So, but this is a nice like real time, just street view, like Mr. Blais was saying. Yeah,
it's cool. It's fun. So I think maybe YouTube would be a good option, or they'll probably say it on the screen.
I wonder if there's another website I like called EarthCam.
Oh, okay.
Just type in EarthCam. There's a bunch of New York City cameras. I'm not sure if it's directly on that route.
Yeah,
there's some specifically of Times Square.
Okay.
They just live stream 24/7.
EarthCam.
Yeah. You get the sights and the sounds of the city. They have a bunch of ones for like the ocean, like beach towns. So
I'll write that one down.
You better believe I'm on those midwinter. I'll have a, somewhere in Florida pulled up and just checking it out all day.
All right, we'll put that down for the
nice little link or something.
Yeah, excellent.
Possibly a plug.
Yeah, I know.
Possibly sponsorship.
Yes, definitely. We're looking.
Fishing for the first one.
Looking, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll send you some swag.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yep.
Trying to do some branding and all that fun
totally.
stuff. Yeah, so it is fascinating parade. I think I'm like more in all the research I've done. I'm more excited now to kind of watch it and think about also, like all the celebrities that have come.
Yeah,
I couldn't find a definitive list of like celebrities, but let's say we have Let me see what I got here. I think I got a few. Old school. I used to watch this. The Lone Ranger. I forgot. And the Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Cowboy show. Yeah.
The Cowboy Show and Jackie Gleason. The characters. I forgot their names from the Munsters. The show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Betty White.
Yeah.
William Shatner.
Yep.
Did you know an astronaut, Neil Armstrong?
Okay.
Had been in the parade.
Yeah, probably at the height of the
who else?
space race.
And now more current, we got Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
NSYNC.
Maybe that's how I know I'm getting old too, though, because they always have the musical presenters.
Yeah.
They'll stop right center stage and they'll sing part of their song.
Yeah.
More often than not, I'm like, who's this person? They're a singer. Oh,
right. I'm the same way, and my daughter's like, you don't know who that is?
Yeah.
I'm
like, that's not Britney Spears. No, it's this person. Come on, Dad.
Oh yeah, she knows, but that's her field. She loves. She'll help me, and I'll help her if there's like Stevie Wonder came on.
Yeah, right.
Now Matthew Broderick goes on, which is interesting because you remember in Ferris Bueller's how he was in.
I'll forget.
I don't know what.
Was that a real parade? It was like the Oktoberfest. I think from Chicago. That could be real. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just remember him being in a parade, so I think it's kind of almost like like a throwback.
Yeah, very cool.
Pretty cool.
Wonder if he sang the same song, "Shake It Up."
Yeah,
the Beatles.
Yeah,
Beatles tune. Yeah,
be a good one though.
Yeah, that would be cool.
A lively one.
Yep.
And I think a lot of performers too that have come. My daughter and I were always like, are they lip syncing?
Yeah.
Because some do, but it's got to be so hard to hear.
Sometimes some of them are not very good at. You can tell. You're just like, wow, they're clearly not hitting those notes, or or like you can see, like, it's cold out, so that their breath is not visible.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't think they're really singing. Like,
no, or they, like usually too, you could tell like in the neck. If you could see it, the strain.
Right.
So some people wearing scarves. I mean, it's a little cold.
Yeah, true.
Hey, I can't sing for anything, so kudos for getting out there.
Seriously.
So any so like going over like the first parade, where was it? It was not a first Christmas parade, I should say. Was not originally from Macy's.
Okay.
The store from Will Ferrell's Gimbals?
Yeah, Gimbals, yeah.
Yeah, Gimbals. Yeah, they tried it in 1920, and they only had about 50 people and about 15 cars. So I don't know how long they planned for. Ahead, like how far
30
back?
minutes.
30 minutes.
They just called up some people. Hey, you got a nice car, right? Let's drive down the block.
Cold where it is, Santa's got a brand new bag.
Perfect.
You can picture that guy just setting it up.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Putting out the call here.
So that was, I just thought that was.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to start somewhere, though. You got to start and get the buzz going, and
now
maybe it took off after that. Yeah.
It's so you like facts too. So about $13 million to put the parade on.
Okay.
And I imagine there's probably, I didn't look into like nitpick it, but like how many, like probably sponsors, donations.
Sure.
I mean, for such a great cause, they probably do fundraising for it.
Brought to you by.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many ads do you see in there? Which is
which actually is good because just in recent years, I know Macy's was financially in trouble. Like they got hit hard in the pandemic, obviously.
Oh, of course. Even
so I think there was rumors that maybe they get rid of it and just say we can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they still do.
Yeah.
So I'll support Macy's every now and then if it keeps the parade going.
Oh, right. I mean,
because it is kind of I don't know if you've been there. It's more of a pricey store. It is a little bit more upscale department store, and that's what they've always been known for. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you walk in, they have like like the perfumes. It's a multi-floor.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Like, kids don't get that. Like my dad used to work at the warehouse, but Montgomery Wards and Sears were like.
Sure.
Like the Titans.
Like
upstate and everything. I mean, I don't know how far off they went, like nationwide, but and the department stores have multiple stores, like first floor,
like
houseware,
kids,
second floor, houseware, whatever.
Right.
And so I mean, it's kind of like what I guess you could say outside of Macy, like Kohl's, Boscov, but they're like more lower
tier.
Sure. I mean, Macy's has like all like your high, like
Yeah,
your Tommy
exactly.
Hilfiger, like
They have all the
the
name brands, different sections.
all the name brand stuff.
Sure.
Not like,
I know.
but
I think the last thing I bought there was like a pack of like white T-shirts. It was like $60 for like 5 T-shirts. It's
Right.
like, that's a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, not really when you break it down. Like, what's that? $12 per shirt. So it's not terrible, but still, it's a bit of a sticker shock.
But you think, I could get. I'm like, I remember when.
Yeah, back in my day, I know. I've been doing that so much recently. Like,
gosh, are we getting old?
So much. Like, my wife's gonna like. Just say like, I know things are more expensive now, like everything. I'm like, that used to be $1. This used to, like, I love busting. You go to any drive-through, like, I'll mess with the person. Like, can I order off the dollar menu?
Right.
There's no more dollar menu. It's gone.
No.
Everything is like $2, $3, $4, or $5 now.
Right. Oh, I know.
Minimum.
It is. Well, it's so funny. My son's like, Dad, they got to change the name of the dollar store.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
Yeah,
Quarter store now.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
rebrand. Take down the signs.
It just doesn't have the same feel.
No,
Buck and a quarter.
I know.
I mean, $5.
$1.39 store. Yeah.
What was it? Wasn't there a 5 store? It was like, I forgot the name of the store. It was all like 5 and up. I forget. It was something like.
Well, it's 5 below right now.
5 below. Thank you.
Yeah. 5 that's like an older one. Yeah.
5 and below.
You got the more expensive version, 5 and up.
5 and up. You really
Over
look at
5.
like, you want to impress the ladies.
Yes. The real
5.
classy gift. You spent $5.99.
Yeah.
On this.
I shop at the 5 and up store. Where do you shop?
Regal. Yes.
Yeah. So, with the balloons, I find. I mean, it is. What do they call them? Ballooniacs. I forgot there was a word they used to describe.
The people that wrangle them and stuff. Or
the people that like create them.
Oh, creators.
Because,
okay.
I mean, it's such a unique. I mean, I appreciate all forms of art, but I especially appreciate like stained glass. I've never done any form of art that I've never dabbled in.
Right.
I'm like piques my curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean, I've dabbled in a lot, but stained glass I haven't. My brother-in-law made it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really neat. Yeah.
But the balloon, I mean, you think about it. So you have to design it. Like you always start pencil paper.
Yeah, right.
But
sketch it out.
you design it there, and then now they have these 3-dimensional like rendering programs,
right,
where you're going around and you can scale it. They'll make like that, and then they'll make like a small model. So now, so you have to be good at drawing. You have to be good at tools within the computer.
Yeah, right.
You have to be good at possibly being like maybe a seamstress, right? Like stitching all this together,
right?
Because you're not using Elmer's purple stick glue.
You're not getting out the old sewing kit from the cookie can in the old closet there. Yeah.
Trying to keep
piece together. It's leaking. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, by hand. No thank you. But it takes so much, and then they'll build it like large.
Yeah.
It's
a massive scale. Yeah.
So, some fun facts I found about filling up a balloon.
Okay.
So, how long would you say it takes to fill up, like your average hot air balloon?
Yeah, I would say probably 2 hours.
You're actually a little over. Yeah.
Okay.
90 minutes.
Really?
So that's a lot.
I know.
Imagine you can picture like.
Oh yeah.
Like Homer Simpson out there.
The little air pump.
Or even worse,
I was to say, don't even bring up the old inflatable pool toys. Like
you'd have 30,000 pass out people.
Yeah, seriously, your head was like spinning because you're like, I need oxygen.
Oh my god!
I've been blowing up this beach ball for the past 45 minutes.
It's about a little over $500,000 worth of I think helium.
No kidding.
In those.
Wow.
Like that is a lot. I remember sometimes at the dollar store when I was going to pick up some balloons, and there was a national helium shortage. I don't know how it's. Coal, you mine it, gases. I'm not sure. Like
you just said, appreciating art, science, because there's helium in the air right in front of us.
Sure.
How do you grab the helium?
Oh
God. Here's a pocket of helium. Grab it.
Grab that and put it in the Ziploc.
I know.
Seal that tight.
Look at the bag is floating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Science blows my mind.
Yeah.
So that's it's a great one. Gases, solids, all that stuff.
There is.
Where's a science person?
Let me see.
We should have a science person just on retainer. And anytime we have a science question, we've had a lot of them. Aliens, now helium.
And there's another one. I forgot. Sulfur hexafluoride. So helium.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. I take with little whipped cream. It's absolutely on the holidays.
Cherry on top. Boop.
Put that right on your pumpkin pie.
Delicious. Might interest anyone in some sulfur hexafluoride.
sulfur hexafluoride does the opposite. I think it was on, like, you could go on, I'll post, like, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He has some funny people on there. So helium, when you know what it does when you suck it in,
it
like,
makes your voice funny.
hi, you know, like,
Yeah.
hi, Mr. Blais.
Yep.
And then sulfur hexafluoride basically is like if you put, you know, like the record on super slow speed,
Slow-mo voice.
and that's what your voice sounds like. But
Okay.
when you watch it and somebody doing that, like inhaling that, it's fine to have a little bit, but I don't know where you get sulfur hexafluoride. I don't think you can buy it at Walmart.
Yeah, it's aisle 4.
Aisle 4?
Yeah. No.
Right, yeah.
No clue.
Yeah, right next to the
Oh, no, I
helium.
just bought that with eggs and bread the other day, yes.
So, so I think it slows, what I've heard is it slows down your vocal cords, and I think
Interesting.
helium speeds them up.
Speeds them up, yeah.
So
Okay.
there you have the variation.
That makes sense.
So there's a little fun science fact
There you
for
go.
our teacher.
Science, yes.
See, so it's denser. It's a denser gas.
Gotcha.
And you can see it. You pour it in the tank, and
Yeah.
and it kind of floats. Yeah. And the Jimmy Fallon episode was like, oh,
Cool.
it was so cool. I'm definitely a science geek on the side.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm fascinated by it.
You can't like avoid it, like the interest between like that and like, you know, space.
Right.
That always like,
You can really see how, like, in olden times, people just thought it was magic.
yeah.
If you were, like, good at science, people were like, you're a wizard.
Seriously.
This person's a witch.
Yep.
They're making this bag float. Burn her at the stake. She's
Yes.
a witch.
What is this? Yeah, the sulfur hexafluoride coming out.
He can
Yeah.
change his doth voice.
Oh, he is possessed.
He's a sorcerer.
We need a priest for an
Yes,
exorcism.
just huffing helium. Hi, everybody. He changes his... yes.
Yes, he's like the master of disguise.
Yes, exactly.
You call it like that would be good for like, I mean, you know, like those guys, the Jerky Boys, they could have done a skit with sulfur hexafluoride.
Perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's just crazy, the amount of
Yeah.
like the
fill
process
time.
of dealing, you know, like the gas in there,
Right.
and the factories. Yeah. So now, you were mentioning, what's the first balloon that you mentioned today? Do you remember?
Oh, boy. Charlie Brown? Or...
You said Snoopy.
Snoopy, yeah. Oh, yeah. With
Snoopy.
with the pilgrim hat on. And,
Yes, he was actually, as far as most appearances,
Ah.
Snoopy was.
See, I knew it.
43.
Everybody
right?
loves Snoopy.
It's up to like, you know, the stats I found are like up to 2019. So
Okay.
Snoopy.
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Classic.
Who else? I mean, you know, Snoopy.
Who are the big heavy hitters?
Yeah.
The repeat people here.
Any guesses?
Well, I know that the turkey. I see the turkey every year.
Yep.
Tom Turkey.
Yep, Tom Turkey.
It looks really creepy. I don't know. It's always creeped me out, like the way his head's moving and the eyes and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're on the spy. Garfield.
Garfield is not on. What I have?
Oh.
10. Top 10.
Top 10.
So.
Caps out. Spider-Man.
He. I didn't find a number on him, but he definitely has made, I think, several appearances.
Yeah,
I've
probably
seen
in the
him.
60s. Boy, I feel like I'm missing some big people. Well, Santa always ends the parade, but that's always played by
You can
humans.
think of old cartoon characters.
Oh, yeah, I get where
That
you're going with this. Felix the cat.
He was the first balloon.
Yeah. I remember that
So the
one,
balloons
yeah. Yeah,
replaced animals, basically.
yeah. Right.
And yeah, so there's
Right.
some old ones. Now, fast food.
Ronald McDonald.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's number 2 at 29 appearances.
Yeah, well, commercialization.
Yep. Now, I didn't know. You ever hear of, like, Harold the Fireman? I didn't even know.
No.
That's like, I don't know a history on him, so if people
Is that
know.
a Dalmatian by any chance, or it's a human?
It's,
I'm getting like
It's a
flashes in my
human.
brain. Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like, I don't even know if I can pull it up here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This guy here.
Yeah, there he is.
It kind of looks as if a person was a balloon.
Yeah.
It's not like, I
Essentially.
mean, a more current, you
Yeah,
know, like
right. Cartoon
Spider-Man looks like Spider-Man. This
Right.
guy looks like literally like inhaled
Sure.
a lot of balloon
Yeah.
or a lot of air.
He's got the suspenders to hold the pants up.
Yeah, it's like an old. You just Google like Harold the Fireman.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely
I think he's probably like an OG. You know, like in 1948,
Wow.
it says he's been around. So
Yep.
he's pretty popular.
Cool.
Kermit.
Kermit the Frog, yes.
We got Pikachu. Believe it or not,
Okay.
I was
Never
sur-
had a Pokemon, but I can,
Same.
I can dig it, yeah.
Sinclair's Dino.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
kn-
the gas station company.
See, you knew that.
Green brontosaurus, yeah,
See,
brachiosaurus.
yeah, I didn't know that.
I don't remember the balloon ever, but maybe once upon a time when
Right.
Sinclair was a more common gas station.
Yeah.
So Loch Ness Monster, there he is.
Ah!
Throw back to our cryptozoology episode.
Yeah, there he is. We found him. There's a site actually there.
In the remote New York City streets.
And there he is. The Pikachu's right hot on his tail.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
And the Pillsbury Doughboy. Yeah. Yep, he was in. Bless you, bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I too much sulfur hydrodeoxychloride or whatever.
Yeah.
Hope you're okay.
That looks like Smokey Bear.
Yep, Smokey the Bear.
As far as I just spied. Oh, see, this is all getting the old wheels working here now.
Yeah, so I could put.
Maybe Yoda. I wonder if Yoda ever had a float, or was he not like cute enough?
I don't know. He might have. Yeah, but they have Grogu, so yeah.
Because Yoda himself is kind of ugly. No offense to him. But Grogu, people think.
Oh yeah, he. So
Same species.
no,
Snoopy as a cosmonaut there, or astronaut.
it's a quick image search, and I'm just seeing Grogu. Yeah.
Oh boy! All right, let's get the petition going.
Yep. Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep.
Right.
There's I see him.
Yep. Tom. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see
Pretty cool.
SpongeBob.
Yep.
Oh, I know Boss Baby. I don't ever seen him. Boss Baby's been in there.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yep. Diary Wimpy Kid.
Betty
Shrek.
Boop, there's an old cartoon.
Yep. Betty Boop.
Cool.
We got I said Shrek. Barney. I think Barney had a collapse at one of the parades too.
Oh, the purple dinosaur.
I love you. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I'm gonna.
Plus copyrighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also songs terrible.
I just took the sulfur hexafluoride to help me
Yes.
with that, so
Yes,
that was
exactly.
good. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, so some of the OG
So yeah,
floats.
OG floats. So some of like the largest one
That's-
was the. They call it the Old Man Dragon, 1921. So look at this baby.
Whoa.
So this guy was 178 feet long.
Not even floating, it's just being dragged on the ground.
Right. It's got. It looks like it's probably got like a small village underneath him of people. I mean, he's not even off the ground either.
It's a New York City subway. They just put a balloon on top of it.
They just disguised it, right?
Subway on it.
Yeah. I mean, like the hungry caterpillar, like on steroids.
I don't get dragon vibes. I definitely get like a centipede or
Yeah.
insect. So
Yeah.
not a bad attempt there, 20s folks. But
Yeah. I mean, kudos
yeah, good for trying. Gold star for trying.
for trying. So that was the longest one. I think the biggest, the tallest one. Here's an old throwback one too. You know this character?
Oh yeah, it's olive oil.
Olive oil.
Popeye's girl there.
Yeah, there we go. He got me eating spinach. I think I mentioned that in a previous episode.
I
Yeah,
have no spinach.
yeah. A lot of butter and salt makes it fine.
Butter, salt, everything.
Yes.
I don't eat these vegetables. Butter, butter.
Well, I want to be like Popeye. He was huge. Some guy come up and he would just like,
bizarre body thing, like his forearms are like massive. His
Yes.
breasts are tiny.
right.
Unrealistic body goals. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, he's a four. He must have done like the hand grips.
Yeah,
He must have been cranking.
Yeah. All forearm workout, no biceps.
Yeah, with the bar, like doing all that sort of stuff. I mean, he must have had like kung fu grip. This guy. He yeah. So she was 102 feet. So I believe I'm not sure we got cut off. We were talking.
Some of the balloons broke loose.
I think they just came right in.
Street, yeah. No, a big gust of wind, clearly 80 miles an hour, and
Yeah, they should have canceled that balloon.
lost boss baby.
Just flew right by.
Yep.
So I think we were talking about olive oil and how tall she was. Yeah, 100
plus feet.
100 plus feet tall. So
Yeah,
what's the story? Yeah, 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
So I mean
It
that's
seems
a monster.
Seems like
It
far
does.
too tall.
It does. I believe. Yeah, I don't. And that's one too. Like with the floats when they're horizontal, right? It seems like you have a better gauge.
yeah.
But when it's tall and
How do you control the top?
like the top, I feel like.
Right.
I mean, you're more likely to hit something.
Yeah. I guess you don't see a whole lot of the great for
No.
floats anymore.
No. So I don't. Yeah, I don't even see. I think it's more of like like an animal,
Stretched
like
out,
stretched out like that.
Totally. Yep.
Do you have a particular float that was your favorite?
Well, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no
Yeah,
question.
I don't know, Garfield. I used to like Garfield.
Yeah,
That
same.
was cool to see.
Do you watch the cartoon?
I did, yeah.
Or even older, like the
Yeah.
comics, right?
Comics
Comics
That's the
and
first
the
time
newspaper.
The newspapers, the funnies.
Yeah, the funnies.
It's like, all right,
Do
comics.
people know what those are anymore?
Nah, sometimes I'll say that. Like, there's an old-timey 20s phrase that says, see you in the funnies.
Yeah.
Like, it's a way to say goodbye. Like,
Sure. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see you around, or like, I'll see you once a week, on Sundays.
Yeah, yeah.
Kids are like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So
All
this
right,
is
sit down, kids. Story time. So,
Yep. Gather around the fire.
First of all, there's this thing called a newspaper.
Right.
Like,
Right.
What's that?
It's how you get your news. Why get mine on a phone? No, this
Yeah.
was before that.
I don't be telling. I don't care about news. Okay, so anyways, let's pretend.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, extra. Read all about it.
Yes,
You know.
It's a long conversation,
Nice.
but yeah, Garfield, Tom
Garfield.
Turkey, and
Okay.
again, then seeing Santa to conclude it, and that was
Yeah.
always all right. Because I am definitely that person. I've been fighting tooth and nail for like a week now. Other teachers in the building, like, by all means, you do you, but some of them are decorated for Christmas already. And I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Oh, we
It's
talked about
November-
that before.
Exactly. It's like November 15th. It's too early. I mean, to each their own. They want to decorate. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do I see a Christmas tree over here, Mr. Blais? No, it's mine. He's good.
Right.
Just lost it. Whew, we almost had an on-air little, no.
A little rant.
Yes. No, but to me, like, yes, when Santa showed up at the end of the parade, that was like, okay. By that point, Thanksgiving's like mostly over. And then Black Friday, to me, just my opinion, starts the Christmas season.
Right. I think that's true. And I know someone, I don't want to name names, but I know someone that as of
Sawicki. Oh.
Columbus Day. Columbus Day. I mean,
Wow.
we're talking
No.
an additional holiday before
Yeah.
has the decorations out.
Major holiday party foul, in my
And-
opinion. But I mean, again, you do you.
And so,
But what about Thanksgiving? What about Halloween?
I know.
What about Veterans Day?
right.
What about November 5th? Remember,
Right.
the 5th of November. That's something in England.
England?
So, doesn't
Okay.
have to
All
do with
right.
us.
Well,
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own their holidays. And,
Yes.
it's important that they each like around this time
Sure.
of year,
Yeah.
We'll get into that in the next episode, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, floats, I mean, again, floats are just amazing
Yes.
too.
Super
like
cool.
feats. I mean, there's guys, I mean, I that I found, like true master of their crafts
Yeah,
with
right.
floats, because it has to be mobile, has to have people. It
Yeah,
needs
you
to
have
have
the
people
safety
on
in
there. It's
mind,
got to be
right.
safe.
Sure.
So an interesting fact: some floats, not all, some are pulled by trucks.
Okay.
Because the floats, I don't have a weight. Or
I was going to
anything,
say,
but,
yeah, I wonder truly how heavy it is to pull.
I mean, imagine, my F-150 can pull 9,500 pounds. And my guess is most of the ones down there are like probably 250s.
Yeah.
Super Duties.
Yeah,
or,
big trucks, yeah.
Bigger trucks. But we were talking, we'll kind of like wrap up with, bands, because we
Yep.
just had our band, kudos to our band
Marching
who just
bands,
won a
absolutely.
state
yeah, it was huge.
a state competition for small
Very incredible.
schools, which
Yep.
was phenomenal. I think they showcased their talent in the recent our Thanksgiving parade up here.
Yep.
But they have 12 bands each year, and each of them have to apply.
Wow.
And then
Pressure.
they're kind of picked out, and you're like, how are they picked out, right? From hundreds of bands. So based on the band's like national recognition, awards, performance, and their general reputation
Yeah.
in their town, which
Cool.
I thought was interesting.
Very nice.
My co-host band, where I went to school in upstate New York, they had actually participated, and
Okay,
they weren't a huge school, but they made it.
Yeah.
And they were in 1 year, so
Awesome.
which was really cool to say.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about like the millions of it's up near like almost like Super Bowl,
Yeah,
viewing,
numbers of viewers, sure. No, that's
So-
always super respectable. The bands, the the flag teams,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. Yeah.
So, yeah, the floats are amazing. I mean, there wasn't a lot I could find specifically, like on floats. So I did find out. Oh, it's a little bit of a spoiler alert.
Uh-oh. Plug your
New
ears.
floats this year,
If you don't want to hear them, plug your ears, kids.
since the new Willy Wonka movie is coming
Oh,
out, which
yes.
I definitely want to see.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Talking about how like Willy got his start in his like the business.
Right.
Willy Wonka float,
Cool.
which will probably be sweet,
Yeah.
no pun intended. Mutant Mayhem.
Oh,
float,
yeah, you're
which I
speaking my
thought-
language. Yes,
And
turtles.
then another one, I have no idea, like the Palace of Sweet.
Of Sweden.
Sweet. Like
Sweet.
Sweet. Like sugary sweet.
Okay.
So those are
Is that a
couple
candy store?
spoilers. Yeah, I don't know if it's
I
like,
don't
it
know.
reminds me of, you know, like Wreck-It Ralph and, you know, like,
Yeah,
like
the video game she plays.
game that they played.
Huh.
So,
I don't know. If you know what that is, let us know.
yeah, Palace of Sweet.
Palace of Sweet.
Now, we'll end on one last fun fact. You got to mention another one thing before the last little bit. The Rockettes, huge,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yep,
Rockettes,
yep,
and you
definitely.
already mentioned musicals. Like Annie was
Right.
the first musical.
Yeah, they
that
have musical
was there.
little numbers sometimes. Cool.
By 1925, the Rockettes were founded, and they've been in the parade since 1957. So
Wow.
the parade started in 1924.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So 30 years in, they've been there, and they've been, you know, like, I mean,
Sure.
you look at this, talk about synchronized.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely.
Yep, agility and yeah.
Amazing.
Right.
And the last fun thing I'd like to mention is that one year in 1932, the only year that I could find, Santa's usually where in the parade?
very last in the
Very last.
sled. Yeah.
1932, he kicked off the parade,
Oh, no kidding.
which I thought was interesting. Usually
yeah.
it's like the big weight, the big
Yeah.
draw, like you got to see
Okay.
to the end. Santa's coming, you
Yeah.
know. Santa's coming.
Yeah. That's probably not popular though. It was only the one time.
Right.
Everyone's probably like, "What is this?
Wait. No.
Santa's here already?
I appreciate the parade.
Where's the turkey?" I know.
Right, but
Yeah,
well,
no, I can't abide. I can't abide.
I
by
don't
that.
think, you know.
Santa at the end.
Right.
Team Santa on end. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Got a shirt.
exactly. It's kind of like an unwrapped gift. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think I want it.
No.
I like the idea of waiting and, you know,
Yeah,
what's in
absolutely.
there.
Anticipation. Let it build.
of it. So,
The magic and the mystery.
well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun finding out some facts
Yeah,
and
totally.
talking about this. Hopefully, you know, people get some education. And I've always tried to work a new angle on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
This is our
exactly.
Third
time around. Yeah.
time around. We're going to
I
keep
know.
going until we run out of
Exactly.
stuff.
We'll be talking turkey for
Yeah.
the foreseeable future. So
Yes. I
yeah.
can't.
We'll
I
try to
think we
keep it
can
new.
avoid
And,
it.
I know. Yeah, you
know?
just have to. And like, if nothing else, I wanted to end by just saying, like, truly be thankful
Yeah.
for something this year. I know some people are going through hard times, and we all struggle with something we're all carrying across. But I
Yeah,
truly believe
true.
if you look around your world, you can find something you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Something that you have, and you overlook it every day. Understandable, but somebody else in this world would die to have what you have. So
Yes.
maybe
I-
if nothing else, at least consider that and say, all right, I'm thankful to have fresh air, clean water,
Right.
you know, a pair of clothes to wear, you know, something simple like that.
Always.
So
I
look around for your blessings. That's my Thanksgiving Day message for this year.
Yeah, I think it's like you're just putting like thankful goggles on.
Exactly,
right? You know?
right. Especially, like I said, for something that you have every day and you just overlook it. I have a TV I turn on every day. Mm-hmm. Some people don't have TVs. They don't have
Right.
electricity.
Right,
know?
you don't have electricity. I
So
mean,
next time I complain about,
Yeah.
I can't find anything on my 15 streaming apps to watch, I'm
I
going to say,
know,
wow, like I'm
the
thankful
struggle.
that I just have this, you know?
I think I agree. That I'll echo that with my brother-in-law. He was just like, you know, like, oh, I can't see out my rear view camera, and he goes, first world problem number
Yeah,
355. You know,
You
like
have a rear view camera.
some people don't have a car.
Some people walk to work.
Some people
yeah.
walk. You
Right.
know, like
Seriously.
bike to work.
Right.
So yeah, definitely, I like that a lot. Good note to end on, and enjoy your time with family and friends, and
Yes.
of course with our favorite friend, Mr. Tom Turkey.
Yes.
My condolences.
Tom Turkey. I know. A lot of them are going to get the old axe pretty soon, but.
Except for the presidential.
Yes, the president. I'll have to
pardon
see
turkey.
which one's the president going to pardon this year. Yes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's always fun.
I know.
All right,
All right. Very cool.
excellent, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving and happy everything, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Adios.